Hello, everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown. And today I want to answer this question. Dear profiler Pat, why do I feel like I'm losing and losing as I age? And I think a lot of people feel that way as they're aging. That there's loss after loss after loss after loss in life as you get older and older and older and older. And you're not exactly wrong, which is why it's such a difficult thing to deal with. Now, I know there's going to be some people jump right in right now and say, oh, no, I'm at my life, I'm now 75, 80 years old, and I'm still, everything is just great, and I'm having a wonderful life, and I love getting older and have so much wonderful things to do, and I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. And there's these other people going, really? Because that's not the way I feel. And I want to say, if you feel that way and your life is going swimmingly and you found joy and everything is just grand, bully for you. I'm happy for you. And I want more people to feel that way. But how do you feel that way? How do you get there? Because there's two possibilities. One is that you've always been this very positive person. You've always seen the good in everything. You've always loved doing everything. You're happy about everything. You're just one of those easygoing people, and I wish I was one of them. I'm not quite that. We're just you just find life fun and easy no matter what you do, and even when bad things happen, you see the good side of whatever you can find in it, and it's whatever. Maybe you have a great spiritual life. Maybe you have wonderful people around you. Maybe you've just never experienced that much loss in your life, or just one of those lucky ones. But what do you do if you're what I consider more of an average person who, as they get older, feels like a lot of times they're just losing stuff, losing one thing after the other. Like they're going down a river in a boat with a bunch of people, and as they go along, the people keep falling out of the boat, and they're trying to stay afloat as they're losing one person after the other, and they find themselves alone. Maybe going over the raft, maybe going over a waterfall and crashing and burning, or drowning. Uh, is that the way they feel? Why do they feel this way? Why do you, if you're one of them, feel this way? Well, let's look at things. And by the way, I didn't actually get a letter, but I'm doing this dear profile of Pat because I was just talking to a dear friend who is going through a time like this. She has difficult health problems. Her husband, who is older than her, has Parkinson's and is struggling and going downhill quite rapidly at the moment. She also has a father who's has major issues and lives far away, and she doesn't know how to help him. And she's got a lot of good things in her life, but she's struggling with all these things, and she feels overwhelmed, like she's on that boat going down the rapids and trying to stay afloat and hoping she doesn't go over a big huge waterfall at the end and just drown. So why do we feel that way? Let's look at when we're younger. Now, again, some of you who are younger, when I say younger, because I'm older, might say, well, I already feel that way and I'm only 20, I'm only 30. Some people who in their 20s and 30s feel like they already lost lots of things and they're not gaining. But in general, when we're younger and we're growing up, we're getting into our 20s and 30s, we are gaining and gaining and gaining. What do I mean by that? We get to leave home. We start a new life. We go to college. We get boyfriends and girlfriends, and you have exciting romance, or you have great sex, or you travel the world, or you start your new career, and then maybe you get married, and then you have kids, and then you have all the exciting years of all your kids growing up, and every time your kids grow up another year, you're kind of gaining something because you're getting a new experience, and then you buy a house, and oh my gosh, you go on vacations, and all of this goes on and on. You gain and you gain and you gain and you gain. Now, sometimes, yes, there are people who don't gain anything. So your lives suck, and you have to go to my my video on what do I do if my life sucks. I'll link that below. But so you might need to figure out how to gain as a younger person. Sometimes you have bad luck. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you have bad luck. Sometimes you have good luck. But let's say you're more of an average younger person who's gaining in life, and you're doing all these things. Whether you get to this certain point, and an interesting thing happens. You start losing things. You end up divorced. Children leave home. You end up empty nest. You get to the age where you lose your let go from your job and you're having trouble finding new work because now you're too old. Ageism starts hitting you. Maybe your health starts going downhill as you get older. You have diabetes or you have this or that. And now you have health issues, especially as you get older and older and older. More people have health issues and have to deal with some real difficult situations. People that you love die. Your parents die. Sometimes your sisters and brothers die. And sometimes your kids die along the way as well. Your friends die. You go to those high school reunions that you went to 30 years ago and everybody was there, and now you're sitting at a table of 5 because everybody's gone. You're losing. Things are disappearing. Some of your abilities from your younger years are disappearing. You can't run as fast. You can't lift as much. Or things that you used to be able to do, you can't do anymore. So you feel losses along the way, losses and losses and losses. And sometimes it's very hard to deal with. And especially as you get up into more of my age range, I'll be turning 70 next July, and into the 70s, 80s, 90s, you see a lot of losses. I just lost one of my sisters about 3 weeks ago from today I'm doing this video. And she died of ALS. And what she lost, talk about what she lost. Because she had ALS, she lost her company. She lost her ballroom dancing that she adored doing. She was a competitive gold level ballroom dancer. And then she started losing the control of her body. And then eventually she lost her life. That's a hell of a thing. Just start lose. That's major. And we all have some of that happening. And we struggle with these losses as we go along the way. And we go, why do I feel like I just things keep disappearing from my life? Well, it's because they are disappearing from your life. What the heck do you do about that? Well, you really have to fight. You have to fight to add things to your life. You can't take away the losses, but you can add things back into your life to give you something that you're gaining. There's this YouTube channel and my other YouTube channel, Profiling with Pat Brown, are things I've gained. I decided I would do YouTube, and I've been able to gain this new career, essentially. It's still based on my criminal profiling career, but a new outlet for this career. I have taken up art. I do art now. I do pastel painting. That's where I've come to love. I've loved pastel painting. I've added pastel painting to my life. I've added certain travels over the years. I've added travels to my life to other countries that I love. I love to spend time in India and in Mexico, and I love Hawaii. So I like to travel to those places. I've started singing in a chorus, even though I've never sang in my life. Luckily, there's a lot of people, so they don't hear me. But it's a new experience. So I added that to my life. I'm studying languages. I'm reading books. I'm writing books. Trying to do whatever I can to add to my life. I try to spend time with my granddaughter and my kids, trying to do things. But it sometimes is very difficult to think of what else can I do? Because sometimes as you get older, you get bored with things too. You're like, I've done enough of that crap. I don't really want to go skiing down a big mountain anymore because I'm going to probably break my leg. And I've done that for so many years of my life. I don't care to do it anymore. So you run into this problem, you get bored with things because you have done them for years and not new to you. So you really have to work hard to find new. And new doesn't have to be extreme, okay? It can just be new in some way or other, that you get to experience something, to experience a new hobby, experience new people, experience a new line of work, experience if necessary, a new country. Just get the hell out of here and go to live someplace else, or a new state, a new city. These things aren't easy. And if you're having physical problems, you're going to have to find new things that work where you are. If I end up in a wheelchair, pickleball is probably not happening for me. But I do play Scrabble, so I can continue to play Scrabble, which I do. But I could also do other things from a wheelchair. And I have to find those things. And there's nothing easy about it. But we have to find a way, because if we just keep focusing on all the losses and don't find some way to add in some gains, then we are definitely, it's going to be highly unbalanced, and it's going to be quite depressing. So it's not something it's, I can just say there's no magic wand. And they can't say, oh, make some lemonade out of lemons. Um, yeah, it's not like that. But you have to fight. You do have to fight. And some of you might be experiencing this in a pretty young part of your life. And so if you're doing that again, you're going to have to fight even earlier if you've had a lot of losses in your life at a young age. You're going to, yeah, life is an adventure, but a lot of adventures are like if you decided you wanted to walk the Appalachian Trail from Maine to, what is it, Georgia, something like that. You want to walk that whole dang thing. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of times when you're going to hate it. You're going to find a way to love it, and you're going to have to get through it. And then you're going to have to appreciate things along the way, because it's not always easy. Life is like that. It can be like we're on this adventure, and we may be on a bus we don't like being on right now, going to places we don't like going to. We're going to have to figure out how to change buses, go to better places, meet better people. We're going to have to fight for that. And so that's what I tell you, fight, because otherwise, what's the option? So it's just add something to your life. And even if small things, add anything you can to your life to balance out the losses with some gains. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this today. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. And if you want to, Dear Profiler Pat, want an answer to a question, do write to me at profilerpatbrown@gmail.com and put in the subject line, Dear Profiler Pat, so I pay attention. And like and subscribe to the channel, and keep fighting, please. Bye.